What's up, everyone? Chris Record here, and it is Monday, October 23rd. And congratulations and welcome to day number 1 of the Viral Clipping Academy. Now, I'm in a hotel, but it's all right because I'm going to be sharing my screen. Plus, we know in order to go daily, every single day, Monday through Friday, got to do it while I'm traveling as well. By the way, rocking the Chris Record merch, Sasspreneur, right there. Can you guys see it? Sasspreneur, high level. Got my own merch on. I'm at the high level conference. This is the Level Up Summit in Dallas, Texas. I'm here right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a broad overview. I know I'm on webcam. It's not the same experience, but it is what it is. We're going to work through it. I'm going to give you a broad overview of the importance of clipping, what it is, how it works, why we do it, why it's so effective. Now I'm going to share my screen. You guys want to see this picture again? There you go. So this little AI Chris right there is actually from a music video called Professional Marketer. It's actually from that music video. So let's dive right into it. I don't want to waste a lot of time. Okay, so first things first is, what is clipping? Okay, clipping is when you take a long video, like let's say an hour-long podcast, or like who's a popular podcast? Like Joe Rogan, okay? Joe Rogan, I think, has like the #1 podcast in the world, okay? His episodes are like 3 hours each, 3 to 4 hours each, right? But you'll notice if you go on like TikTok or Instagram, or you see short videos, the vertical, the portrait style videos, right? The tall, skinny ones. There'll be clips of Joe Rogan, but it'll just be like 30-second clips, 60-second clips, right? Those are clips of a long video. So clipping is the skill to learn how to do that, to learn how to accomplish that. Clipping is the skill to be able to take long videos and be able to turn them into lots of little short videos. Now, there's levels, there's a spectrum of how good you could be at this skill. You could start as a beginner and you could just use tools. Okay, tools would be like, there's a tool like Munch Clips, for example, that will just munch, that'll take the long podcast and will munch it down into a bunch of different clips automatically. So there's AI tools that you can use to automatically do this. That's at the beginner end, right? You just paste a URL, it automatically does that. Then the intermediate end would be like, the intermediate style would be like, okay, I could take a 4-hour podcast and I basically know how to make like where to start and stop like individual questions. As Joe asks the speaker a question, that's the start. The guest answers the question, that's the end. So that's just like a start, a timestamp at the beginning and a timestamp at the end, but that's it. You just cut the video and maybe you post it to YouTube. That would be like, okay, that's a level higher. Now you're actually getting multiple videos. But to become like intermediate to advanced to professional, it's a lot more. If you notice these videos that go viral, it's not just a little clip, but a lot of times the clip has jump cuts in it. It has captions going across the top. It has music. It has like little things flying in and out, effects. It has color grading. It has all of these different things that make it something that's like actually like a little miniature masterpiece, okay? And they go viral. Now, these videos don't just go viral. I mean, clipped videos do tens of millions of views, hundreds of millions of views. I was watching a clipped video just yesterday when I was just looking at on YouTube. And YouTube's harder to get views, by the way, than like TikTok. And I was just looking at YouTube for a couple of ideas, and I just looked at a clip video. I had 180 million views. And I'm like, that's literally just a 30-second clip from somebody's speech on a random faceless channel. It has 130 million views. You just look at it, it's like, wow. So first of all, these things work. They're like little viral marketing soldiers. So if you've got a battlefield and you've got all these soldiers and you're the general, and all these soldiers like your little pieces of content that are all out there fighting that fight, trying to help your business succeed. There's these little viral soldiers. They're like soldiers that are just crazy, right? They're just soldiers that like you gave them like a little viral injection and they're just out there just like absolutely winning. They're like little mini Thors, right? They're just little crazy soldiers. That's these viral videos. These viral videos, like you just create a bunch of content, but every once in a while you're just throwing out these little viral videos like this, these little viral shorts, and they just go nuts. During the next 5 days, my outcome for you is to learn how to be able to create those little viral videos, to learn how to be able to create those to the point of being at least like professional intermediate mode. Now, I taught this earlier in the year, early 2023. I taught the Clipping Academy. It's $1,500 for being able to be part of the Clipping Academy. So that's the value of this week's training. At the very least, if you're looking for a comparative, $1,500 is what I charged earlier this year to be able to learn these strategies. And this week, your total cost is going to be $5. So instead of $1,500, you're going to learn for $5. Now, Granted, when I did 1,500, I was doing like 5-hour sessions. Like the sessions were like 5 hours a week, 5 hours a week, 5 hours a week, because there's a lot to teach. I'm going to break it down. Don't worry. And before I go too detailed, someone said we get a major discount. I wouldn't even call it a major discount. That's like literally like from $1,500 to $5. That's like beyond major discount. I think that qualifies as basically giving it away for free. So I'll teach you as much as I can. Now, here, I want to, before I dive into share my screen, I want to make sure we understand some of the big picture points here, okay? Some of the things that you're going to need to learn to be good at clipping. Number one is your goal is to improve the original video. So you're trying to make a better video, okay? A better video. It has to be, and I want to go further and just say significantly better. So if I have a 1 hour podcast, okay, let's even just say right now, okay, let's look at this video right here. Here's me inside of a hotel room. I got this little backdrop and I've got whatever, right? And I'm just talking into my computer. The lighting's not really that good. The audio's not really that good. And I'm kind of like rambling a little bit. I'm kind of freestyling. I'm not as specific as I could be. I could take this recording here. And the first thing I could do is I could cut it up to where it's like, okay, he starts introing here, and then he gets to a really good explanation here. Then he teaches how here, and then he gets to a wrap up here. And I could take those 4 pieces, cut out the fluff in between, and already I have a better video, right? Now, I've got a better video because instead of an hour to make a point, I could chop it up and kind of make Chris's point for him in 5 minutes, okay, to a good standard. But now, look, it's still got hotel, audio. So then I could take the audio and I could run it through a tool to make the audio sound better. Then I could add some music behind the audio. Now it's actually pumping out a bit more. Then I could add some graphics on the screen. I could color correct the screen. I could add some effects on it. And now suddenly what happens is what you end up with is this 5-minute video that is significantly better than the original. Significantly better than the original. Now, the reason that we don't create these videos to begin with is that it takes too much work. Okay, if I were to sit down and say, okay, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start with that little 5-minute video. Well, then I've got to think, okay, I have to figure out exactly what I'm going to say in 5 minutes. So I've got to kind of script it out. Then I've got to take the time and I've got to actually organize it. I've got to do everything on my side up front. And when you have to do things up front, what happens is people just procrastinate. They just, the prison of perfection takes over and they just procrastinate. But you know what's better? If I just hit live and just start talking, knowledge will flow out. You guys will get knowledge, and if I just hit record and talk, you will get the knowledge. You will get the information. So clipping originated, it really blew, not originated, but it really exploded on the scene when all the platforms started introducing a short form model. So like TikTok, really, I think it started more or less with Snapchat is where I started seeing it. So Snapchat, right, had like, if you had Snapchat, if you didn't have it, your kids had it, for sure. Your grandkids or kids had it, right? Like Snapchat was very, very popular. And essentially, the kids liked it. The reason it became popular was the kids could have disappearing stories. You know, it's like, come on. When you were a kid, you wished you could have conversations disappear and your parents didn't have to see it, right? That's what made it go viral with the kids. But Snapchat also kind of went really viral because they started introducing AI. You could do all these different stuff to your face, different stuff to the backgrounds. So this app blows up. Next was really, at the same time, there was this app called Musical.ly. And this Musical.ly app was basically kids would like lip sync to songs, you know? So you get like, you get an artist like Taylor Swift, and a girl would basically like lip sync to the song to kind of practice singing, kind of make their own cool little thing, share with their high school friends. Then that eventually kind of turned into singing and dancing. Then people started doing dances that went along with the music. So Musical.ly's kind of blowing up. Snapchat's blowing up. Well, what happens is Musical.ly gets acquired or whatever by TikTok, and TikTok essentially becomes TikTok. TikTok says, let's take the combination of what both these apps are doing and let's put it into one. But instead of the disappearing stories, instead of Snapchat being like private conversations and stuff like that, like disappearing stories, let's actually have it be clips that can stay around and build an actual profile and build a wall with all of these clips. But let's include Musical.ly. Let's get people dancing and singing. So TikTok comes out and it's mostly young kids. TikTok was kind of known as like the place where you would go dance and you would sing. So adults are still kind of not messing with it unless you have kids or grandkids, you're watching them, and you're kind of letting the kids have their flashy new app, right? But the kids are on to something big. The stick rate was so high. The engagement rate was so high. Everything about this was so high that you could not ignore it anymore. So what happens then, YouTube says, okay, we got to start. YouTube's been the home of the wide video, right? The home of the 16:9 video. You can count on it, YouTube. Even Instagram was at least doing square videos and breaking the mold. No, not YouTube was. We are the original pie. We will never quit the 16:9 video. Guess what YouTube did? They did YouTube Shorts. They started saying 9:16. Until TikTok really blew up, you know what people used to make fun of? There used to be videos. You guys go look. I don't know if you guys remember these videos. I mean, sure, we've been on the internet for a while. I'm sure. How many people remember this? How many people remember that there was videos that there's posts on Facebook that would go out of their way to teach people how to turn their phone sideways? Do you remember this? Like literally, how many people would get annoyed? You'd see a video, somebody would shoot from their phone like this, and you're like, turn your phone sideways. What are you doing? What are you doing? Turn it sideways. And there would be entire videos making fun of that, like turn your phone sideways. Well, I mean, just think of that's where we were. That's where we were with technology, was we were annoyed. So, but think about it. It actually makes sense to watch a video normal because you're gonna type. Like, you're not using your phone like this all day. Your phone fits right in your hand. It's actually convenient. This actually makes more sense, but sometimes we're a little slow to pick things up. It was only a matter of time. YouTube launches Shorts, Instagram launches Reels, Facebook launches Reels, but not only this, Facebook's got stories, Instagram's got stories, YouTube has stories. So what happens is all these platforms start adopting to portrait mode style videos instead of horizontal, vertical videos. And vertical videos become all the rage. Then what happens is, then it becomes the great debate. Which is better? Long form videos versus short form videos. Wide videos versus like landscape mode versus portrait mode. It becomes this big debate. The answer is both are important and there is no debate. The debate has been solved for quite a while right now. There's no debate to be in. They both have their role. They're both important. Right now, for example, I am doing a horizontal long form video. I think that right now, this is the format that works for this. I would venture to say that even if you're watching on your phone, because it's long form, it's not a hassle to turn your phone like that, right? It's not a hassle. But I got Atlas fighting a lion on my little thing. It's not a hassle, right? So essentially, if you're just watching it short, like if you're just doing something real quick and you got to watch something short, then boom, you just want it looking like this. You just want it straightforward. But if you're actually going to sit down and actually watch something, it's not like this. Or if you're going to be on your computer. If I'm on my computer, I would much rather have the content be in the full screen. Like, let me see on live chat right now. Give me a 1 if you're on a computer. Give me a 2 if you're mobile. If you're 1 if you're on a computer, 2 if you're on a phone. And you guys look at the comments here. 1 if you're on a computer, 2 if you're on a phone. I'm going to say out of what looks to be about the first 100 responses, it looks like there's maybe 5 2s out of like the first 100. So I think we're safe to say 90% are able to are probably like 90% are probably watching it from a computer. Okay, so for this format, when you're creating content, the first thing you have to know is you have to know what content belongs where. Long form content has its place. Now, the problem with long form content is not the live. The live experience is great for long form. This is great. We're doing everything right. It's the replay experience that starts to become difficult. Now, let me explain to you several reasons why the replay experience becomes difficult. Number one, throughout a long form session like this, there's probably going to be a lot of fluff. How many times have you ever been on a Zoom and somebody does introductions? Hey, everybody, let me know where you're from. Oh, hey, look, you're from Kansas. You're from North Dakota. You're from Hawaii. You're from whatever. You understand? Like, that's a live experience. That's cool. I'm on live. The speaker is interacting with me live. But how valuable is that for the replay viewer? Like, does that benefit in any way whatsoever the replay viewer? Or does the replay viewer kind of say, be honest with me, when you're a replay viewer, aren't you kind of wanting to skip the fluff a little bit? Like a little bit more? You kind of, when you're a replay viewer, you kind of want to get to the meat and potatoes a little bit more. That's how I am, right? Now, when you're live, it doesn't matter because you're there. You're there for an experience. You're part of something, right? But if you're watching, like, okay, perfect example. Let's say that you go live to a sporting event, like a boxing match, a UFC match, a baseball game, a football game, whatever. Well, you're going to get to experience a lot of stuff that's not going to make the highlight reel, right? But like if you weren't there live at the game, do you really need to see when you're watching the replay of the game, you just want to see the highlights. You want to see the main things. And even if you're going to watch the whole game, do you really need to see like what they did as part of their halftime entertainment? You know, do you really need to show up early, or could you just start right when the game starts? You see what I'm saying? Like, but when you're there for the live experience, you want all the extras because you're going out of your way. You want the extras. So understand, this is where the idea of clipping is born. Clipping is born because I want you to think of yourself. I want you to think clipping is born because somebody can actually take long form content, flip it down into short form content, and make it much more of a consumable, direct piece of content that has a better chance to go viral and longevity. So this clip right here, this little session, whatever, an hour, 2 hours, this really has almost no chance to really go viral. There's nothing here in its entirety. There's nothing here that really, if I put this on YouTube right now, there's really nothing here that would make it go viral. It might get some views. You might get some comments of people saying, hey, that was a really good talk. There's nothing here to really go viral in its entirety. But in between the longer sessions, there's little nuggets. And if these little nuggets are positioned right, they have a chance to go viral. And these little nuggets exist in almost everything. They exist in every class we've ever done. They exist in almost every podcast. The thing is, you've got to start thinking that clipping is like, it's like better than highlights in a way, because clipping is like basically saying, okay, I just watched this 2-hour sporting event, and there was a point in the sporting event where the players rushed out to the field and started to fight each other on the baseball field or whatever, and one player actually knocked out the other player. Now, there was like 30 different cameras, so like the main camera angles weren't very good, but this camera angle over there, that camera angle actually caught a really good clip of somebody getting knocked out on the field. If people had to watch the whole entire game to get there, it wouldn't go viral, but if somebody could just clip that highlight out, just that one highlight, and make it better, you know, and maybe even do what's called a meme. A meme might be like, put some music behind it. Like there's this popular song, it goes like, dun, 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 run, and it kind of goes in. And so like you put everybody in the dugout, like looking at each other, and then it pauses, run, and then it shows them all breaking out of the field and fighting. It's like you do something like that, and suddenly you've taken an incident that happened, you've clipped it down, and you've made it something that's designed to go viral. Now, at this point, once you become a designer of virality, once you understand how virality works, you understand how to be able to design it, then it becomes it's just a game changer, because now there's no shortage of content out there that you can clip and get going. So it's kind of like better than highlights. Like a highlight, if I'm watching a highlight reel, okay, if you go to YouTube right now and you pull up, let's say the MLB Major League Baseball channel, and you look at their highlights, like their highlight games might get like 30,000 views, maybe a good game gets like 100,000 views, but for them, that's not much because they got millions of subscribers, right? But if you actually look at something more powerful, like here's Shogun Ohtani, you know, here's a video of him showing how he's gonna like break Babe Ruth's record or whatever it is. You take an individual thing that happens, you take an individual specific event, you know, then that one video has a chance to get millions of views. So you can kind of go to channels and you can kind of look at all their videos and then see which ones do millions of views. And it's always usually because they're highlighting something very, very specific. So I want you to think about that. Clipping is the ability to take something very specific and shine a light on it and allow people just to consume that. Now, clipping works incredibly well to lead people into long-form content. So we actually have an entire affiliate program built around it. You, as affiliates of Atlas, can go out there and can clip our content release that out there. You have a better chance of going viral. You have a better chance of getting views than I do. You have a better chance. You can clip the content. People will watch it, and then they can actually, you can have a call to action of more of the same content that they watched. So naturally, you're building up an audience of people interested in this type of content, and they'll naturally going to want more. So that's what we're going to essentially talk about. Today's going to be more talking than it is sharing. I'll probably share my screen a little bit, but it's going to be a little bit more of getting the fundamentals out of the way, because clipping really kind of gets technical, and if we're not careful, it's going to feel like a video editing course. So I don't want it to feel like a video editing course. I want it to feel more like an art course. I want you to feel like this is more of an art form than it is a technical editing skill, okay? Because it's not really a technical editing skill. Okay, one of the first and most important things, especially for those of you taking notes, is going to be your ability to tell a story. It's going to be storytelling. So, and by the way, for people asking questions like, what about copyright, stuff like that, honestly, I've never even, short form content is literally, everybody wants you to clip their content. Like, everybody out there is begging, please clip my content. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different game. It's a different animal. All right, let's go to storytelling. So for example, I'll probably pull this up in the background. For example, I get tagged a lot on Facebook when people clip my content. And a lot of times they'll clip my content. I'm going to see right now if there's anything I'm recently just tagged in, just to kind of give like an example. But people will clip my content, and when they clip my content, a lot of times they'll do a good job in terms of clipping, meaning that the clip will look good. Okay. But, not only, the problem is that a clip looking good will not make it go viral. So there's some components of what a clip needs in order to go viral. Okay. Looking good will not let it go. It will not go viral. So the first thing you got to kind of understand is you can't just clip a short video. You actually have to give it some content. The content alone has to essentially, it has to give value. So whatever it is that you're clipping, it actually has to deliver enough value to somebody where they've learned something, right? So for example, I was just tagged the other day. I don't think I'm going to go through and see if I can try to find it in a second here. I was just tagged the other day in a video, and I was like, wow, this video actually looks pretty good. It's from one of our students. I'll pull it up if I can find it. I get tagged so much that it's like literally there's 100 tags right here. But I think that it was Stacy. I'm gonna give it a shot and see if possibly it was Stacy that did it. If so, I'll go to her profile and see. So let's see. I think it's gonna be Stacy. Okay, perfect. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Hold on one second. It's going to be a little bit easier if I kind of give you a visual. Let's see. All right. Share. Okay. So let's look at this one, for example. Okay. So DM me or email, and I will send you the clip of Chris explaining the backwards blueprint. Okay. Not bad. And then here's this video. Okay. Again, looks pretty good, right? So what she did was she took a long video that I did, and she made it portrait mode and is sharing it. Now, generally speaking, you would think, okay, this is clipping. But, and I'm not saying that Stacy did a bad job. I would honestly say doing something is better than doing nothing. So I would say already, Stacy's already ahead of a lot of you, and from that perspective. But I also think, I also believe in constant and never-ending improvement. We should always get better, right? So in this example, if I were giving Stacy feedback, I would say the thing that's missing is it's 19 seconds, and there's really nothing taught, right? So what's missing is, basically, it is called the backwards blueprint, and then it just ends. Like, I get right to the point where I'm about to reveal, and it just ends. But it's not enough that somebody's hooked and like, oh my God, I want to learn the backwards blueprint. It's enough, more or less, just to get somebody confused. Like, okay, it's just a guy talking about it's called the backwards blueprint. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, the video, when you're clipping, the thing that's got done well about this is it's in portrait style, and it's got captions on it. But what you really want to do is you want to get good at being able to actually tell a story. So you want to say, okay, and by the way, it doesn't have to be 19 seconds. Like, I was wondering, why is this just 19 seconds? What I would do is I would have it probably be like more like closer to a minute. And I would actually make sure it tells a story. So right up at this point, at the 19-second point, it says, okay, he's going to talk about the backwards blueprint. Then you skip forward in the video until a point where I make a clear and concise breakdown of something. You would skim to look for a part where I actually explain what is the backwards blueprint. And then right after that, then you would skim to a point where there's actually some sort of strategy or method. What happens is you're doing a decent intro, which says, hey, I like, instead of working forwards, I like to work backwards. I like to see the castle at the top of the hill. I like to see the kingdom at the top of the hill. I want to know that trail that I'm going on in order to get there, right? The strategy is called the backwards blueprint. And then here's what I'm doing with the backwards blueprint. And then here's how you can apply it. If you can learn to get good at essentially trying to convey the main message of the video in these short little clips or a main subsection, you need all those pieces, and then you put them all together. You put them all in a row. So what happens is you got when you're clipping, it's usually not going to be one clip. You're usually going to grab 3 to 4 clips and string them together, because now you're providing enough value where people are actually going to want to share it with their friends, right? The only way you're ever going to have something go viral is when there's a huge conversation, a lot of people engaged, a lot of people sharing it, a lot of people are interacting with your content. And the only way we're really going to have a lot of people interacting with your content is if the message was clear, right? The message has to be something that makes sense to people. It's got to be comedy, or it's got to be a skit, or it's got to be something informative, educational, a tutorial, a listicle, a top 10 list. It's got to be something that is clear and concise in a short form manner in order to get people to engage. So we got to be careful. By the way, Stacy just doing the work is better than not doing the work. So I could applaud Stacy for at least doing the work. But what you guys want to get a little bit better at is storytelling. Is learning. If you want to take something like the backwards blueprint, I think that's great. Try to tell the story of the backwards blueprint. Try to improve on the video. So in my opinion, this doesn't really improve on the video. This 19-second version, this doesn't really improve the video. Let's listen. Visualize the destination. If we can't see ourselves there, we don't know that there's a kingdom up there. We don't know there's a castle at the end of this road. Well, okay, so essentially, here I am giving a talk. Now, what would I do to improve this, right? What I would do, first thing I would do is I'd crop in. See how there's all this blank space up here at the top? I would crop in more, right? This whole left side is unnecessary. So first thing I would do is with the visual, I would remove anything outside of the important thing, right? So I would crop in. I would want my head just close up to the top here. That's how much in I want. Because people are going to relate more when they're looking at it on a small device like their phone. They need to be able to see a little bit more clearly. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, how can I get the video to look as best as possible in portrait mode? Next is going to be captions, although I do think these captions did improve the video. So right off the bat, captions is one of the fastest ways to improve a video, meaning a video without captions and a video with captions. The captions are an improvement, right? So you can check that box. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the video looking tight in a portrait mode. So now I've made a portrait mode version. That's an improvement. Next, I'm going to get captions on it. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add music. Music can add emotion. Right now, I'm talking about a kingdom and I'm talking about this and that. This thing could sound like a motivational speech if you put the right music behind it. So I would look for something cinematic. I would look for something like that cinematic style music that would just get your fingers tingling. That would be an improvement. Because when I'm going live, like right now, I'm not going to sit here and audio engineer and be playing music during my points, and I'm not going to be throwing up captions in real time. You understand, these are ways to improve the video. The next thing is when there's keywords, like in this case, I'm talking about a castle, like a kingdom on the top of a mountain. These are really easy things to grab out of any video editing software. You can just go to elements and type in castle or type in kingdom or type in whatever, and you're gonna be able to get a picture of a castle or a crown or a mountain, and you're gonna be able to throw those little pictures up into the video. Now, these little emojis, just make it that much more entertaining. So what happens is, this is essentially visual storytelling. That's what clipping is. It's visual storytelling. It's an art form. You're creating visuals to go along with it. So you can create visuals in the form of words on the screen, help people understand what's being said, but also emojis bring a visual. So now people are actually starting to be able to understand the story better because there's visuals. Another level of that would be called B-roll. B-roll would actually be just overlaying over all of this. You can leave the captions on, but instead of seeing Chris Record just talking the whole time, there's nothing viral about Chris Record talking. It might help if there was actually some B-roll footage of a mountain with a trail, and B-roll footage of a castle, B-roll footage of a kingdom. These kind of things are going to actually with cinematic music and a kingdom going in the background and this guy's talking and giving this motivational speech. These are all elements that are going to improve the video. So now if you get the right speech with the right elements working together, you actually have something that is much more consumable, right? Then you, on top of that, you could add in a couple of little things like instead of just me just standing there talking, the camera could just slowly be zooming in like this, slowly zooming in, slowly zooming in, slowly zooming in. You know what I'm saying? And it just adds this emotion, like the subjects is slowly getting closer. It just adds this emotion to it. It adds another level of an emotion, right? So panning and zooming is another. They're super basic things that can be learned. But the point is like I want to take this content, right? I want to take this boring content right here, and I want to turn it into something more exciting, right? I want to make it more exciting. That's what clipping is in a nutshell. I could teach you all the dynamics, but if you don't understand that is what you're trying to do, then you won't meet the objective. You'll just clip and your content won't go viral. Now, the other thing that makes clipping so great is that, oh, Stacy, thanks for the feedback. Yeah. And by the way, Stacy, I didn't see you on. By the way, Stacy, just like I said, like literally just doing is better than not doing. So personally, I would rather see more videos like this than no videos like this, if that makes sense. But if you're going to do, then let's go ahead. Let's try to give you a better result, right? Okay. A couple of other things. Another thing, you don't want to call to action. Oh, by the way, I was sharing my screen when I was going in like that. I guess you guys didn't see the little slow zoom in. Okay. Maybe you guys didn't see that. I thought my little camera would be on the top right. So, okay, so let's talk about this. So, okay, so you got this clipped video, right? You want to get some music. You want to get some captions. You want to get some B-roll. You want to get some emojis. You want to get maybe the story told in a good way. What you don't want to do, okay, the things that won't help your video go viral. Number one, most important thing that will not help your video go viral. In fact, will almost ensure that it will not go viral. Does anybody want to guess live? What is the number one thing? Oh, some people said they only saw this. They didn't even see the screen share. What is the number one thing that'll probably kill the virality of your video? Who wants to guess? This one isn't even about when in the video, but who wants to guess the number one thing that'll probably make it so your video does not go viral? All right, number one thing is that I think that you can call it whatever you want, but I'll see. Franco said it here. Call to action. The second your video turns into a call to action is the second. Why would just think about this, just common sense. Why would anybody want to share that? Why would anybody want to share that? Hey, here's a cool video. Wow, I really like this. Then all of a sudden the person's like, this guy comes out and says, all right, so if you guys want to hear more information, we've got a mastermind coming up this Tuesday. You guys should definitely attend this mastermind. It's only $1,000 a person. Whatever it is, just ruined the video. It just ruined it. So the biggest thing that you got to think about is the reason that our motivation to do things is money. We don't want to just sit around and create viral content just to go make TikTok more popular or make Facebook more popular. Why would we care about making them more popular, right? We want what's in it for us. So most of us get carried away and say, well, the whole reason I'm doing this is for money. But because your mindset is that way, you'll actually ruin your chances of getting money. So here's the thing. These viral videos are not where you monetize. There will be other ways to monetize, and you have to have faith and trust in the process. Viral videos are not where you monetize. Viral videos are where you grow your channel, right? So what happens is you start a channel, whether it's faceless or not, you start a channel and, you post something on your new channel and you get like 1 like. Like if you're only getting 5, 10 likes on your videos, or right now, when you post even to your own personal Facebook, I don't know. Let me ask this question for those of you live right now. If you were to make a post right now on your personal Facebook, on average, what would you say the average amount of likes you get on a post is? Let's just say right now you made a post on your personal Facebook, right? And I want everybody to read each other's. It's not about bragging, just on your personal Facebook. And some of you are just lying. Some of you are saying high numbers, and yet I see your personal Facebooks all day long. But would you guys agree, for those of you that are live right now, would you guys agree that pretty much no one's really over 100, right? I don't think no one's really over 100 average likes. Would you guys kind of agree? Like to get over 100 people on average liking every single post, it's a difficult thing, right? The reason it's difficult on your personal Facebook is because the only people that are going to see your post are going to be your friends, and only a percentage of your friends are going to see it. So for those of you that are actually getting good engagement, 30, 40, 50 likes a post, that's because of two things. One is the algorithm is showing your content to more of your friends. So it only ever shows the percentage. So if you got 1,000 friends, the algorithm may only show it to 50 of your friends. Okay. But so one is the algorithm might like what you're doing. You might be able to get it. So now at this point, you're getting exposed to more of your friends, right? That's part of it. That's part of the reason why you got to average higher. Like the second is you got a bigger audience. So some of you might only have 300 friends on Facebook, right? You only have 300. So even if the algorithm was favoring you, then you're still at most going to only get like 20 likes. Okay. So understand there's two types of things. There's quantity of what your following is like, and then there's quality, how much of that following actually is consuming your content, right? So if you have a YouTube channel, what I mean is if you had 10,000 subscribers that were high quality and you released a new video, your new video would be likely to do 1,000 views just from your subscribers. But if you're on TikTok and you have 10,000 subscribers, whatever, and they're real, they're engaged, well, then your content, you launch a video, that video is likely to get 1,000 views naturally. But in order to get to any big numbers, you're going to have a large amount of subscribers. So where are the subscribers? And they have to be genuine, real subscribers. They can't just be Facebook ads. They can't just be like cheap penny subscribers off Facebook, right? So what you have to do in order to get there is you have to take call to action and set it down right here. And what you have to do, and even ads, even like getting your first 1,000 followers on TikTok, ads, set them aside right there. And instead you have to think, how can I create content that will go viral where people will subscribe to my channel as the call to action? So, which they'll naturally do. Because if I could just simply get my subscribers up, then every video I release will have thousands of views. Like right now, if I were to make a post on Facebook, I'll get over 1,000 engagements. Not just 100, not just 30, not just 50. I'll get over 1,000, right? But that's because I have tens of thousands of followers, right? On my personal. And so you want to understand, like, it's because I have so many followers, then all I really have to do is I have to focus on how can I create content that the algorithm will reward, that the algorithm will show to as many of those people as possible. That I have half the game already figured out, which is subscribers. So what I'm saying is you should all start with that half the game first. You should all figure out how can I get subscribers. So there's really two parts working, right? The content you create has to be something the algorithm wants to reward. And then the subscriber count is where all your natural, consistent, recurring views are going to come from. Once you get those two figured out, you're creating good content, you have subscribers consuming the content. At that point, it's scalable. You have a scalable business that can scale to the roof. Now, the biggest obstacle that stops you from doing this is they don't use clipping. So the whole reason I'm sharing this with you is the number one obstacle that stops you from scaling their social brands is that they don't do clipping. That's literally the number one obstacle. Because if you have to think of all your own content, if you have to create and produce all your own content, it just takes so much time that people, they either get really motivated and they go hard and then they just fall off and you never heard from them again. I've done this so many times myself. I go hard, like 90-day sprints, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to take a break. It's too much. They either go hard, but they can't sustain anything because they have to create all their own stuff. Clipping is the single easiest thing you can do to successfully meet that objective, to successfully have high quality content that people are engaging with that also meets and services the needs of the algorithm. There's almost nothing at this point right now. I can safely say I don't know anything better than clipping that does this. Okay? The reason clipping works is because of OPC, other people's content. Because You don't have to create. You no longer are a creator. You are like a recreator. You are recreating something that already has all the elements of virality and engagement. You're just taking a viral clip and you're just changing it. That's all you're doing. It's like a cheat code. It literally is like a cheat code. Oh, this video is already going viral. All I have to do is just change it a little bit and mine can go viral. You're essentially piggybacking on virality. So an example is, if I take somebody who's famous, a celebrity, versus myself, and I make two videos. Let's say this video right here is Chris Record with the orange hat, 30 seconds of just nonstop wisdom. Going, oh man, here's how you can create a faceless account. Here's how you can make money in affiliate marketing. 30 seconds of Chris Record, orange hat knowledge versus 30 seconds of Kevin Hart just saying stupid stuff. The comedian, Kevin Hart, the comedian, or The Rock, or whoever. Insert person here, right? Just saying stupid stuff for 30 seconds versus Chris Record, orange hat, drop it straight. Which one do you think is going to go more viral? Kevin Hart saying stupid stuff or Chris Record dropping audio? Charity says depends on the audience. Does not depend on the audience at all. There's no universe in which Kevin Hart doesn't annihilate Chris Record. Okay? There is no universe in which that doesn't happen. Now, maybe one day I get there. But no, the reality is, who wants to guess why Kevin Hart could say nonsense and his video will go way more viral? Kevin Hart has subscribers. No, it's not. I'm not talking about Kevin Hart posting on his channel. I'm saying on my own channel where people know, like, and trust me, Kevin Hart will still do better than me. Right? It's because Kevin Hart, his face is recognizable by a lot of people. It just comes down to that. He is more recognized worldwide. He has a larger amount of people that will recognize him. So when they're doing the thumb dance and they're scrolling through their phone, scroll. When they come across somebody that they recognize, they're more likely to stop. And all this whole entire game is just about scroll stopping content. That's all clipping is. You're trying to get something that will stop them on their tracks while they're doing the thumb dance, because everybody does the thumb dance. While they're doing the thumb dance, you just want them to stop. When they stop on your content, you've won their attention. And so you have to do something outrageous in the first few seconds, and it's got to happen in the first few seconds. So bottom line is, if I use a celebrity's face, that is one thing that might stop them. I don't know, what do you guys think? What do you guys think are some examples? Those of you live, what do you think are some examples of scroll stopping content that you think would get the masses? Not what would get you to stop. Because again, the only thing we're interested in right now is virality. I'm not interested in my ability to get one of you to stop. But you got to have something. You got to have something, right? So another example would be an opening hook, right? And by the way, the opening hook has to have captions. But if I came out and said, in the next 10 seconds, I'll show you exactly step by step how I made $100,000 last month doing these 3 simple things from home, right? If I said something like that, in the next 10 seconds, I'll show you how I made $100,000 last month doing these 3 things from home. And then I showed you like a close up of my bank, right? That would be like scroll stopping information. So what would happen is there's an outrageous thing happening. Somebody's logging into their bank and they're zooming in and they're showing me their bank account. That's a scroll stop, right? Or maybe it's just me on the street and I'm interviewing people. Hey, come over here real quick. How much money is in your bank account right now? Oh, $2,000. Prove it. Log in right now. If you prove it, I'll give you $100. It's like, that's shocking, right? It's kind of like what happens is it's something that like draws you in and you're like, wait, what's going on here? Like people are just going to openly show their bank accounts or whatever. And so you're looking for elements of virality. Virality comes because somebody's stopping, because the whole world is doing the thumb dance, right? So the world now operates like this, right? Thumb, 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 thumb. They're all doing the thumb dance. Thumb, 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 all day long. People are doing the thumb dance. They're on their phones all day long. So now the new economy becomes that sliver of real estate that flies past people in a second. That is the new economy. They call it the attention economy. The question is, when people are scrolling right now, I'll do the scroll dance for you just to show you. Okay, let's do the scroll dance on Facebook. Okay, so we're gonna do the scroll dance. You're not gonna be able to see what it is, but let's do the scroll dance right here. This is how people are scrolling, right? And then look, something caught my attention. It was something I recognized. It was the Paid Traffic Academy caught my attention. So I saw one of my own posts in there, and people are just doing it. There's Keala. Look, right off the bat, there's Keala going straight to his bank account, straight to his ATM, showing $847,000. So do you see what I'm saying? Like this is an example. This kind of stuff me and Keala talk about when we meet up. It's like he knows right there, and then how, and now he's going to show you how. Like that's a good example. It just came up as an ad. This is an ad right here. But like that's an example. It's like I'm scrolling and doing thumb dance if I can stop. And I don't think his intro was that good, because if you actually consider how long it takes somebody to stop, somebody's going to miss the bank. I actually think he should have started like literally a lot quicker. Like it needs to be like, I'm at the ATM. It needs to be like, come here, check this out. I got $847,000 in my account. It needs to be like that fast, right? So the idea is that scroll stopping content, I could go through and I could just do this thumb dance all day long, right? Scroll stopping, you just keep going. There's a little cat one. That's probably somebody in our community, right? Yeah, JC, right? So you just do scroll stopping content, So sometimes like girls will do like girls do this more than guys, let's be honest, right? Girls will post like an attractive picture. It'll get a lot of likes. Guys generally don't want to post attractive pictures. But the idea is that you want to get some scroll stopping content. Now, that's just part one. Even if you get them to stop, you have to hook them, right? So even if you can get them to stop, you still have to keep their attention, right? It's like somebody saying, okay, like you're saying, hey, okay, you're a street vendor. You're sitting there with flyers on the corner of a Las Vegas strip. Like, hey, real quick, I want to show you about what's going on. It's like, it's hard, right? It's hard to get people's attention. But if you got their attention, it's like the person coming up and saying, okay, you got 3 seconds of my time. Right now, what is it? Now you got 3 seconds. That's like what the newsfeed is like. You literally have like 5 seconds of their time. Okay? So you understand you got to create content that stops them, and then you've got 3 to 5 seconds to be able to now keep their attention. So in that time, you have to keep fighting for their attention. Now, this is too hard for the average person to do. Even it's hard for me, but it's hard for the average person to be able to create such good content consistently that actually does this. That is why I said without clipping, it's virtually like impossible. You have to actually be like a celebrity or a comedian or a talented. You have to be somebody who's got like a talent, whatever it is. I don't know. You could blow smoke rings that build a castle in the sky, and whatever it is, or you can hula hoop with like 75 hula hoops, or you can juggle fire on knives, like whatever it is. You got to be like one of those talented type of people that just has some super talent. You're a superhuman. Most of us aren't. So since we're not superhumans, we have to instead think, if I could just clip other people's content, I'm doing them a favor because I'm drawing exposure to them. I'm doing myself a favor because I'm getting engagement on my channel, which is going to help get me subscribers and get my algorithm. But you don't want to monetize that. You do not want to monetize other people's content because you don't have their permission. And also, like, that's like the worst thing you could do. It's the most disrespectful thing you could do. It is use somebody else's brand without their permission to sell your product. Like a fake celebrity endorsement. It's like the worst thing. It's like literally, that's like the bottom scum of the internet to do that. Scammers do that. I remember back when I was first learning internet marketing, that's what people would do. They would put together these like fake pages, and then on the bottom it would say like Oprah Winfrey like endorses this product. And it got so bad where if you were to go to Oprah's actual website, on the bottom, she had a whole entire disclaimer saying she does not endorse any of these products. Like those are not, like, she had to go out of her way on her own website to say that she does not endorse products because every site was using Oprah as a testimonial for their product, right? It's just scammy. So the thing is that using a clip of Oprah saying something is fine. That's fine. But actually endorsing a product or pitching a product with Oprah's image and likeness is not fine. And in a way, it's actually illegal, meaning she actually has a reasonable amount of information here to be able to sue you. So this is why when people talk about other people's content, when you're taking somebody's content and you're making them look better and you're not using it to sell something, then people don't mind. But when you're taking somebody else's content and you're using it to sell something, or you're making them look bad, right? An example would be like, let's say that Oprah, there's a video of Oprah walking out of a restaurant and she's not tipping somebody, and somebody comes out and be like, you left me a 2% tip, and then she walks off, right? Then there's a video of Oprah that's, hey, here's a little clip of Oprah that she only left a 2% tip, right? You're making Oprah look bad. Therefore, Oprah's legal team is going to try to hammer you because you're making her look bad. That would be an example. And another example would be like using a clip from Oprah and then suddenly say, hey, if you guys are interested in learning more content like this, join our mastermind, join our academy, There's a link in my bio. Then it's like you're using Oprah's image and likeness to draw people into your link in your bio. Oprah's legal team would say, no, we're suing you, right? So the thing is that when you're using OPC, other people's content, you're not using it to make money. You're using it in a win-win, in a positive win-win to grow your channel, your channel, whatever topic it is. That's why you're using OPC. So you want to be able to find clips. You want to be able to find long-form content that you can clip. You want to be able to make the clips better, improve the clips, make the speaker look good, tell the story. You want to be able to add some elements to it that the speaker didn't have time to add. So like if Joe Rogan's doing a podcast, he's not going to have music behind it. He's not going to have captions on the screen. He's not going to have B-roll of the things he was talking about. Somebody's doing him a favor. Basically, a free video editor is doing him a favor, saying, hey, I took your content, your interview, and look, I made it better. Joe's going to probably post that himself to his wall. You know what I'm saying? You're improving. Nobody's going to get mad if you're improving their content and making it look better. That is why clipping blows up so much, because no one's suppressing it. No one's trying to take it down. Okay? So you got to realize, now, how do you get rewarded? You get rewarded multiple ways. One, you get more engagement on your content. Two, you're going to get some subscribers that some of those are going to spill over and start watching more and more of your videos. It's called the trickle-down effect. When somebody gets like one really big, like this guy, who's this country guy? You guys tell me in the comments. I don't know, I want to say like a Republican or conservative type country backyard, like a backyard singer, not Jason Aldean, like a backyard guy in his backyard filmed a viral video and it did like 100 million views. He like made a song about like rich men from Richmond or something like that. Oliver Anthony. Okay, so this guy Oliver Anthony. So for example, here's a guy who's got all these songs on his channel. Okay, all these songs. Then one goes viral. Well, once this one goes viral, right? This one goes super viral. What happens is there's trickle down. Now look at all of his songs on his channel. They've all got like hundreds of thousands or even millions of views, all because one video. So what happens is when one video takes off and it starts going super viral, people then are the reason is because the algorithm is going to start showing more of your content. Once a lot of people are consuming one piece of content, the algorithm is going to show them more. And like, oh, let me check out this one. Let me check out this one. I know you guys have all experienced this, right? You've all experienced where you watch a channel, whatever, it could be cat videos. I don't care what it is. You watch a channel and then it starts showing you more of that channel. Okay. So the idea is that that's really what you're looking for. What you're looking for is you're looking for some consistent content, and when the video goes viral, you want it to be able to start trickling over to your other content. All of this is designed to grow the channel. So if you remember back to my value proposition, value, pitch, value, pitch, right? Whether you want to call it jab, right hook, whether you want to call it, whether you want to just call it like give, and then ask, right? You can call it whatever you want. But the point is with this content, you want to basically erase monetization and making money from your mind for like the first 9 out of 10 videos. Just erase it. Just be like, I am not trying to monetize. I'm purely just trying to get good at creating engaging content to get people to engage. And that's it. 100% of my focus on that for 9 videos. Then the 10th video is completely separate. It's like a whole different game. On this video, I'm going to now see if any of my existing subscribers from the whole last week of content might be, let's see how many of them I get to engage in this content, which is business content. Now let me pitch something. Right? And it could be more than that. You could even say, okay, I'm going to, like if it was me, I can afford to play the long game. So I'm probably going to do something where like, I don't even try to monetize the channel for the first 3 months. To me, as soon as you start trying to monetize is when you basically kill a good channel. So for me, I won't even try to monetize. I will wait until I get huge amounts of organic engagement, then I'll monetize. But if you guys are looking to monetize, I would at least say 9 pieces of viral content that do not even try to make money, and then 1 video now that pitches something. 1 video. But you don't, on that video, you're not using other people's content. You're creating something original, right? So you're using other people's content with permission. It's called permission-based OPC. So maybe, for example, I give you permission-based OPC, right? So a perfect example is, I am somebody who says you can clip all of my content from the academies, and I don't mind you having a call to action to it. I am not going to be upset over it. Now, will it work as well? No. As soon as you add a call to action, it won't work as well. But it's okay to do that on like 10% of your videos. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not saying never have a call to action. I'm just saying mostly what you're trying to do is you're trying to clip other people's content so you can start building up virality, so you can start getting a lot of subscribers, so that your base is when you post a new video, boom, now you got an average of 1,000 people watching. Then next month, now you got an average of 3,000 people every video. Then next month, now you got an average of 10,000 people watching every single video. You start to get this, your virality spills to subscribers, your subscribers result in consistent views, and then your monetizing video is designed to try to convert some of your subscribers. It's not designed to convert your brand new viewers. Your brand new viewers, the first thing that a brand new person should be doing is engaging in your content. The second thing they should be doing is subscribing to your channel. It is not important whatsoever to monetize somebody who's not even a subscriber. You haven't even added. It's kind of like sending somebody to an affiliate offer before adding them to your list. Like if you can, you want to run an ad, get them on your email list, then send them to an offer. And then if they don't buy that offer, they're still on your email list. So like with social media, your email list is like equivalent to your subscribers or your followers. So if you were on Instagram and you have 10,000 followers on Instagram, that's like having 10,000 emails on an email list. That is like so you want to send, first thing you want to do is you want to get them to subscribe to you, which is subscribe to your email list before seeing the offer. So I personally don't even think that a link in the bio is very effective. Now, why do I teach link in the bio? I teach link in the bio because it can be done effectively. But personally, I think that the most effective way that I have been able to that I would say anybody here can sell on social media, especially faceless, something that's going to beat all link in bio, something that's going to be the descriptions, call to actions in the description of the videos. No. The number one place where you're going to be able to actually send traffic to things is going to be stories. The number one way that you will monetize a social media channel will be stories. Or will be disappearing reels, like content that you post that just stays up for 24 hours. The reason I say stories is it comes and goes. So for example, I could be creating all of this content and I got all these subscribers, and now I can just do a story. I can just do a story sequence with like 3-4 stories that reaches those 10,000 people. And the stories are a form of bridge marketing. For example, let's say that I have an audience of 10,000 subscribers that like, I don't know, let's say bowling, that like bowling. 10,000 people like bowling. And I want to pitch them into IIS or Atlas. Well, I can't just promote a video saying, hey, would you like to learn how to make money online? But in a story sequence, I can come up with a few different pictures that gradually take them and introduce them to why this might be a good fit for them in bowling, right? And then we see who's interested. And then also stories just allow me to do like a little swipe up. So what I'm telling you in summary is you have to get monetization out of your mind. I have not seen a channel yet from any of you where it's important to have a link in bio. I don't put links in bio in my channels until they're successful. Because what's the point of having something that isn't gonna work? And if anything, the algorithm is just gonna see you're just trying to link them off, you're just trying to take them off the site as soon as you get there. I like the algorithm to feel like my whole thing is I'm just gonna be like a cool content creator that's gonna keep them. Like I look at the algorithm as like the Wizard of Oz, and I'm like a servant to the algorithm, right? I'm like, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, whatever you want. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Whatever you want. Consider me your little slave, right? Consider me your little servant. Okay, you want me to keep people on the program? Great. I'll keep them on the platform. You want me to try to increase my watch time, get people to watch more? Great. I'll work on that. Yes, I'm your little servant. I'll do whatever you say, Mr. and Mrs. Algorithm. That's how you have to be. The algorithm is the boss. It's your boss on social media. Literally your boss. You have to get good at serving the algorithm what the algorithm wants. And so when you post like a link in the bio, if you go ask the algorithm, hey, is it cool if I go ahead and take them off to my site? Is it cool if I siphon people off of your platform and put them on mine? The algorithm's gonna be like, nah, we don't like that. Why would the algorithm reward that, right? So you got to think like that's essentially, you got to be like more delicate with the algorithm. You got to say, okay, what the algorithm wants is it wants longer watch times. It wants more engagement. It wants more people staying on the platform. It doesn't want them leaving the platform. So I am going to grab content off of other platforms. I'm going to dice it down. I'm going to clip it. I'm going to make it a little bit more viral, and I'm going to put it on this platform, and we're going to start having a party on this channel. This channel is going to be a party of nonstop engagement of all of this content. And then once I get the coolest party in town, every once in a while I'm going to slip in some monetization. And that's going to, at that point, I can start getting 1,000 new people. I could get 1,000 people at $20 a month. I could be making $20,000 a month just off of one faceless channel. So it's worth it. It's worth it to try. So every single day, I wanted to get the first one out of the way. Every single day this week, I'm going to be, for the rest of the week, I'm going to be sharing my screen the entire time. And I'm going to be actually clipping content. So I wanted to get today out of the way. I had Peter here. I figured I would do a lot of pregame with Peter. So for the rest of this course, for the rest of this academy, it's going to be me sharing my screen and actually clipping content for you. But I wanted to get today out of the way. Plus, Peter shared some incredible wisdom. If you guys did not get a chance to be able to watch this live, if you're watching on demand or the replay, you missed an excellent pregame with somebody who's done millions of dollars in sales. And I just wanted to make sure I could do this from a hotel in Dallas too. So with that being said, if anybody is in Dallas right now, if you guys want to come direct message me, something like that, I might be able to meet up probably tomorrow night. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I got to go. We have a cutoff time on these. I feel like I want to do the whole entire academy right now. That's why I give myself hard cutoff times, is because if I don't, I will teach for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours without stopping, without even a bathroom break, without eating. And then this won't be sustainable. So I have to give myself a cutoff break, you guys. Let me ask you a question. Was today's session, the pregame and the live session and the understanding of this, was that worth at least $1? Did I earn your dollar today? Was it worth at least $1? It was worth $1 for me to see Jeffrey Frank put on a cowboy hat. It's been years since he was throwing me off. He threw me off. I couldn't recognize him with the regular hat on. All right, you guys, it was worth it. Appreciate you. I'm gonna look at some names. Let me hang with everybody for a minute. Scott Berry says worth 1,000. Mitch Chawala, good stuff as always, buddy. Cheers. Hey, Mitch, you should reach out to me, bro. I like a lot of your posts on Facebook, by the way. But you should reach out to me. We should find a way to do something together. Yeah, look at all this. Absolutely. Yes. Definitely. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. People are thanking Peter. Peter's still here. He's trying to tune me out. He's like, what? This is not crypto. What is he talking about? He's like, Peter's over there like, why would he talk about this when crypto's pumping like this, man? Let me do a crypto class. No, Jeffrey, I do recognize you, but I promise, like when you're looking at our screen and there's 30 faces or whatever, the cowboy hat's always the thing in the Zooms in the past, that would stand out. It's just like, it kind of like was your brand, really, It's like if I put on a black hat or I went hatless, you'd probably still be able to point me out, but you wouldn't. You'd have to do a double take. Pre-games will be posted in a new section. The pre-game section will be in the Atlas Academy. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody. Take care.
I know they want that money, so they got to go all in. And I know they like that paper, chasing dreams down like the wind. And I always trust my vision, so the journey I begin, I'ma get that inspiration. Now it's time for me to go all in.
Yeah, ayy, I pull up in the I-8. Valet, no wait, told him have a nice day. My date, she got me hooked like some nice bait. I'ma fly straight, hit the table with the high stakes. Ay, we at the Mandalay Bay, hanging out late with my gambling bae. Got a stack full of chips and a band for the game. Going all in, dog, this is the way.
Swag on them, all black, I put the flash on them. Like a boss, I still got the price tags on them. West Coast from Fresno, I drop facts on them. Pull up slow, the wheels glow with the raps on them. We at the table shooting craps on them. Back to back, yo's got racks on them. Sit back, relax, let the pros stack on them. With that, I'm securing the bag facts
from the bay, so it's game that I sprinkle. Bumping Mac Dre in my lane as I whip through. Cadillac, Ryan, reppin' real world rental. All about my paper, dog, look what I've been through. Every day I hustle, man, I grind to the end zone. Know about the struggle, I'm a ride or die friend though. And I'm all about my cash flow. If you don't know, now you know. G-Money.
Let me take a minute just to drop on my vision. House always wins, high rollers ambition. Day wise, snake eyes, send them home with no riches. Take them to the table, snatch the chips and a trippin'. The odds of you winning in my house are dipping. When you leave, you'll be mad cause you're left with no winnings. We take them to the bank just to empty it. Wait, there's a man on security cam raising the stakes.
Man, I know they want that money, so they got to go all in. And I know they like that paper, chasing dreams down like the wind. And I always trust my vision, so the journey I begin, I'ma get that inspiration. Now it's time for me to go all in.
Hey, I got my crew, now we back at it. We got that Iron Man, Black Sabbath. I'm making moves on YouTube, a Mac addict. I'm at the crib with new views, panoramic. Whoa, these jokers walking through the door. I'm about to hold them, ain't no folding on these poker pros. They can't touch it, I straight flush it, they overdose. A-double-L-I-N, I'm in the player zone.
Swagger, dagger, dapper, rapper. I'ma crack 'em back to back like a chiropractor. On a craps table, shoot 'em like a master factor. Hard ways, hit the cashier, then flip parlays. Back to blackjack, it's time to get paid. Back to back jacks, I might just raise. I'm on a streak, never phase, and I'm leaving the table weak like every 7 days, all in.
Players know for sure, my squad moved from the Bay down to Vegas like them Raiders, dawg. When them haters throw shade, I put my shades on. G-Money, control the whole table, dawg. You know my city don't sleep though. Get your chips in the game, winner takes all. Don't slip, you might lose your grip. Big bank, take little bank. Check the bankroll.
These rollers ain't rolling in the house, I'm controlling. These blackjack ballers stack chips and I know it. Time to show 'em what it's like to leave in the morning. Flat broke as a joke, take the loss as a warning. Even Texas couldn't hold 'em, but so they think. I'ma take 'em to the cleaners as fast as they blink. One more hand, so you think you could win? Put your money where your mouth is and go all in.
Man, I know they want that money, so they got to go all in. And I know they like that paper, chasing dreams down like the wind. And I always trust my vision, so the journey I begin, I'ma get that inspiration. Now it's time for me to go all in.